During this presentation, we'll be discussing a prevalent public health issue in Australia, known as skin cancer. We'll be using a salutogenic approach to health promotion and explore important determinants caused by skin cancer by applying the Red Lotus health promotion model. Skin cancer is an uncontrollable growth of abnormal cells in the epidermis, which is the outermost layer of the skin, caused by unrepaired DNA damage that stimulates mutations. From these mutations, it causes skin cells to rapidly multiply and form malignant tumors. There are three main types of skin cancer, which includes basal cell carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma, also known as non-melanoma cancer, and the most dangerous type, melanoma. Melanoma often has an irregular, ragged, notched, or blurred-in outline, with the various pigmentations and sometimes uneven. These are caused by overexposure to ultraviolet radiation from the sun. Melanoma is the third most common skin cancer in Australia, with 13,694 of them were diagnosed. GPs have over 1 million patient consults per year for skin cancer and accounts for 80% of all newly diagnosed cancers. Australia has one of the highest rates of skin cancer in the world due to our harsh climate conditions, as well as Australia's genetically exhibiting fairer skin, our proximity to the equator resulting in high UV levels, social attitudes, and the love for the outdoors. In Australia, approximately 2/3 of the population will be diagnosed with skin cancer by the time they are 70. In 2016, an estimated 13,280 new cases of melanoma were diagnosed in Australia, with 1,770 of them dying from the disease. Skin cancer accounts for the largest number of cases diagnosed in Australia each year, with also the age standardized mortality rate increasing from 4.7% deaths per 1,000 to an estimate 6.2 deaths per 1,000 between 1982 and 2016. Research has shown that by the age of 50, men are more susceptible to developing melanoma than women due to them being less educated about skin cancer, social attitudes towards wearing sun protection, and to more likely partake in outdoor occupations. UV damage is the leading cause of melanoma skin cancer. However, 5 to 10% of those diagnosed with melanoma have one or more family members who have also had it. Those who are at higher risk of developing skin cancer are those who have a family history of skin cancer, have a large number of moles on their skin, have a skin type that is easily damaged by UV radiation, history of sunburns, working outdoors, and using solariums and/or sun lamps. These factors will significantly increase the chance of developing skin cancer if sun protection is not used.
There are a significant number of determinants that account for Australia's high skin cancer rates. This presentation will use the Red Lotus Health Model as a framework to further investigate these determinants. The Red Lotus Health Model demonstrates a holistic, ecological, salutogenic approach to health promotion. A key feature of the Red Lotus Health Model is a specific proposal of a values and principles system of all phases of modern health promotion. Despite having the world's highest skin cancer rates, Australia remains a culture that values sun-seeking, and the idea remains that a tan is considered healthy and a part of our culture. Sun protection is not commonly perceived as an important issue by adolescents, with studies showing that at this stage of cognitive development has reduced the ability to plan ahead. This means adolescents focus on the present time and actions tend to be more spontaneous, not factoring in the need for sun protection during the day's activities. In Australia, it is reflected as common to live an outdoor lifestyle, meaning that tan skin is linked with health, attractiveness, and our beach culture. Modelling the behaviour of high-status individuals is a dominant influence in one's own behaviour. Current image norms for attractiveness and style set by celebrities and the entertainment industry have a massive impact on women and behaviours. Research has shown women's self-presentational concerns are highly predictive of their health behaviours, including sun protection. Males were found to be more likely to partake in outdoor activities during peak UV times, while females choose to stay indoors at these times. Exposures for men at work compared to women showed a much higher proportion of males exposed to more UV at work, predominantly farmers, drivers, miners, and landscapers. Different international studies have made links with socioeconomic status and sun protection, however, no Australian study has been able to do the same. Although UV damage is the cause of most skin cancers, 5 to 10% of people diagnosed with melanoma have one or more family members who have also had melanoma. Studies also show that people who have previously been diagnosed with skin cancer are also at a high risk of developing another. The number of moles we have developed is determined by genetic factors and exposure to ultraviolet radiation.
Australia has one of the highest skin cancer rates around the world. Shades are being endorsed and enacted on within the public in an attempt to reduce the harsh effects of UV rays. This includes shaded playgrounds, public umbrellas, and car tinting. Children who play outside have prolonged exposure to skin cancer. By installing shade structures on school playgrounds, it allows children to play with little exposure to the harmful UV rays and reduce their chances of melanomas throughout their life. The sun's UV rays attack the skin, creating damage that can range from premature wrinkles to dangerous skin cancer. Damage from UV exposure is cumulative and increases your risk of skin cancer over time. While your body can restore some of the DNA damaged in cells, there's also a number of skin cells which are unrepairable. Sun protection should be used on a UV3+ day, as on a typical summer's day, UV levels can reach extremely high, UV 11+. It is recommended by Cancer Council that on a UV3+ day, preventative options are to be acted upon, as these levels can lead to skin cancer. Even though the sun safe message is out, majority of Australians still disregard the warnings and develop the invincibility trait when protecting themselves from the sun. Australia has conducted little research to do with the economic and political determinants. Therefore, due to the lack of studies that have been conducted, not enough information can be identified to make an equitable decision towards the economic and political reasoning behind skin cancer. Australia is home to the beaches, varied outdoor culture, and the sun. This is a stereotype that follows all Australians as their perceived lifestyle. However, this is making a life-threatening impact on Australians' lives. Through the use of media outlets presenting society with a typical sun-bronzed tan, individuals are perceiving the image portrayed of how they should look. Therefore, there is an increase in the sun-seeking behaviour, which means more time in the sun in an attempt to develop the Australian look. Another social determinant is Australia's sporting culture. Most sports are played outside during the hottest parts of the day, ranging from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., which also carries the highest UV rays. Preventative options include sunscreen, hats, staying in the shade are to be enacted upon to reduce the severity of melanomas. Sunscreen is a primary sun-safe method that is being actively endorsed through the Slip Slop Slap campaign, as shade and hats are not always accessible. The daily use of sunscreen can reduce the risk of cancer by 40 to 50% if it's applied correctly and regularly. All the determinants mentioned are interconnected to form the basis of developing skin cancer. No one is immune to it, however, methods can be used to significantly reduce the risk. If factors of skin cancer can be identified, it can be used to develop a salutogenic approach to reducing skin cancer. Salutogenesis is defined as the process of healing and health creation. The idea of the focus was on people resources and the capacity to create health rather than focus on its risks, ill health, and disease. A salutogenic approach to skin cancer would include wearing sunscreen when outdoors to reduce the impact of ultraviolet light, or to endorse the use of sunscreen as part of the individual's daily skincare routine.
To conclude, Australia has one of the highest rates of skin cancer in the world and has 2/3 of the population suffering from it due to high levels of UV radiation and their sun-seeking attitudes. Red Lotus model worked as a framework to further investigate determinants of skin cancer in Australia to develop an effective salutogenic approach. Through campaigns such as Slip Slop Slap from the Cancer Council, it increases awareness of the dangers of skin cancer and will also significantly reduce the chances of developing it. Skin cancer presents as a dangerous public health issue but can be prevented by using sun protection.